Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitamrta audio class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are continuing our discussion from Chaitanya Charitamrta. We are in Madhya Lila, chapter 22, the process of devotional service. In this chapter, we are hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining the Abhidheya Dhyana to Sanatana Goswami. In the previous chapter, we heard Mahaprabhu explained in detail about the Sambandha Gyan. He described about the various aspects of Krishna's beauty and opulence. And in this chapter, he is describing the process of devotional service. We have discussed till verse number 16. So far, Mahaprabhu has explained how Krishna is the only shelter of all the living entities. And Krishna has many expansions, and he takes avatars to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. And somehow, by some mercy, by some inconceivable fortune, if the living entity comes to take shelter of Krishna, he becomes most fortunate. The famous verse is quoted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnidesha tesham jata maina karuna natrapano shanti. Oh my Lord, I have served my anarthas for many, many lifetimes. They have not given me relief, no peace, no satisfaction, no shanti. So therefore, in this life, O my Lord, I have given up the service to my senses. And now I have come to your shelter. Please accept me in your devotional service. Now, from 17th verse onwards, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts explaining the glory, supremacy, and independence of Krishna Bhakti. How the devotional service is not dependent on any of the other paths. It is not dependent on karma, jnana, yoga. It is not dependent on time, place, circumstances. So Mahaprabhu will explain very beautifully the process of devotional service, how it is completely independent. It is Swarat. Mahaprabhu starts explaining Krishna Bhakti Hoy Abhideya Pradhan, Bhakti Mukha Nirikshaka, Krishna Yoga Jnana. Krishna Bhakti, it is Abhideya Pradhan. It is the chief function of all the living entities. Every living entity is supposed to practice only devotional service. That is the fundamental activity of every living entity. Krishna Bhakti Hoy Abhidheya Pradhan. And Bhakti Mukha Nirikshaka Karma Yoga Jnana. And all the other Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, they are Bhakti Mukha Nirikshaka. They guide one to the process of devotional service. They are all dependent on the process of devotional service. They are not independent. Without devotional service, all these other paths, they don't give the results. Independently, neither karma or yoga or jnana can give the result. Unless the catalyst, just like in any reaction, there is a catalyst which is needed. Without that, the reaction doesn't go ahead. The main ingredient of any of the yoga paths is devotional service. Prabhupada writes, in other words, the real desired result is to invoke dormant love for Krishna. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The paradharma, the ultimate religion of all the living entities is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Yato bhaktiradhokshaje, by practice of devotional service. That is the only thing which can satisfy the soul. Yayatma suprasidati. One can become happy and peaceful only by the practice of devotional service. By the practice of karma, yoga, jnana, you cannot awaken love of God. They can give one either swarga or impersonal liberation. They can't give pure devotional service. And a living entity, when he comes to devotional service, he loses interest in everything else. As Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate na adhikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. After achieving this process of devotional service, everything else becomes insignificant. Na adhikam tataha, nothing else looks very attractive. As Dhruv Maharaj, when the Lord appeared in front of him, he offered so many benedictions. He said, Dhruva asked, what do you want? Sthanabhilashi tapasi sthitoham tvam praptavana deva munindra guhyam kacham vichinvannapi divyaratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. He says, oh my Lord, I don't want anything. I wanted a kingdom greater than my great-grandfather. But after having your darshan, I have realized that everything else is broken pieces of glass. What I have achieved is diamond. Only the process of devotional service can satisfy the heart, nothing else. Mahaprabhu quotes a verse from Bhagavatam which describes jnana and karma. They are useless if bhakti is not there. Very famous words spoken by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Naishkarmyam apyachyuta bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam kutah punah sashvat abhadram ishvare na charpitam karma yadapya karanam. Naishkarmyam api. Even if somebody is practicing nishkama karma, but achyuta bhava varjitam, if he is not offering the results to Krishna, na shobhate, it doesn't look befitting, it doesn't look good. Neither karma will look good, neither jnana, na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. Niranjanam jnana means that jnana which is devoid of devotional practice. Na shobhate, it doesn't give results. So then, what is the use of all the other fruitive activities? Kuta puna sashvada bhadram ishvare. If naishkarmya and jnana, it is of no value, then what is the use of then karma, which gives temporary results? Kuta puna shashvat abhadram ishvare. Abhadra, it is not auspicious. Nacharpitam karma yadapya karanam. If the karma is not offered to the Lord, it is all waste. Shramayeva hi kevalam. Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirthapada sevaya jivannapi mritopisa. If your karma doesn't lead to dharma, if dharma doesn't lead to vairagya, if vairagya doesn't lead to devotional service, it is all shramayeva hi kevalam. It is waste. Jivan api mritopi sa. Prabhupada writes, Vyasdev, he wrote so many literatures. 4 Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, all the other corollaries. Still he was not satisfied. He was thinking, why I am not feeling satisfied? I have described everything. I have followed all the rules and regulations nicely. Still I am not happy and satisfied. Why? Kimva bhagavata dharma na prayana nirupita? Is it that I have not explained the principles of devotional service properly, which are dear to Krishna and the devotees? And then Narad Muni came and chastised. He said, Oh Vyasdev, you have written such a huge, vast amount of literature, but you have not glorified Krishna enough. Bhavatanudita prayam yasho bhagavato malam yenaiva shauna tushyeta manyeta darshanam khilam. That darshan, that philosophy is useless if it doesn't glorify Krishna. Anudita prayam, you have not explained, glorified Krishna sufficiently. You have glorified dharma, artha, kama, moksha. People are already attracted to that, and you have given them a bona fide way to enjoy. It is all waste. Any activity, if it is not offered to Krishna, it will not give the proper result. Every activity attains the perfection only if it is offered to Krishna. Tapasvino danapara yashasvino manasvino mantravido sumangalaha Shemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. All the great tapasvis, Danapara, the charitable people, Yashashvi, the famous people, famous for their auspicious activity, Manasvi, the thinkers, Mantravida, the chanters of the mantras, which are all auspicious. Shemam na vindanti. They will not get the result. Shemam na vindanti vinayad arpanam. If they are not offering the results of their tapasya, their dan, their chanting, their mantra recitation, their philosophical speculation, if they are not offering all that to you, O my Lord, it is all waste. They will not get the results. Tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. Mahaprabhu continues, Jnana without bhakti, it will not give even liberation. Kevala jnana mukti dite nare bhakti vine. Krishnonmukhe sei bhakti hai vina jnane. Keval gyan means that gyan which is devoid of bhakti. Kevala, it is dry knowledge, impersonal knowledge, which is devoid of devotional service. Mukti dite nare, the jnanis, they cannot attain liberation if they are not adding the limbs of devotion. The devotee, the yogi or jnani has to meditate on the form of the Lord. Bhagavatam describes in great detail, Vaikuntha lila abhidhyanam, the yogi has to meditate on the form of the Lord, has to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord. Otherwise, mukti dite nare, mere gyan will not give the liberation. And if somebody practices devotional service, they will get liberation even if they don't practice the limbs of jnana. Krishnonmukhe sei bhakti hai vina, sei mukti hai vina jnane. The devotee will get mukti even without practicing jnana. As the Chatushloki Bhagavatam describes, Rite artham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyat atmano maya yatha bhaso yathatam. Rite artham, if this is not there, everything else will not give the results. Gyan will not give the result, yoga will not give the result. And if bhakti is there, other things are not there, they will get the result of everything. That's the power of devotional service. यत् कर्मभिर् यत् तपसा ज्ञान वैराग्यश्च यत् योगेन दान धर्मेण श्रेयोभिरितरैरपि सर्वं मद्भक्ति योगेन मद्भक्तो लभते अंजसा स्वर्ग अपवर्ग मदधाम कथंचित् यदि वांछति. Krishna is telling to Lord, to Uddhava, whatever results one attains by karma, jnana, tapasa, jnana, vairagya, yoga, dana, dharma, shreyobhiritarayr, any other auspicious paths, sarvam madbhakti yogena madbhakto labhate anjasa. My devotee gets everything by practice of devotional service. What do you want? You want swarga, you will get swarga. You want mukti, you will get mukti. You want Maya abode, you will get Maya abode also. Bill Mangal Thakur prays, oh my Lord, after I have become absorbed in your devotional service, I am experiencing newer and newer ecstasies. And Mukti Devi is standing in front of me with folded hands, ready to give me everything. What to speak of Dharma, Artha, Kama? Moksha is there available. Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevyate Sman Dharmartha Kam Gataya Samaya Pratikshan. Mukti is naturally, automatically achieved by a devotee. Devotee doesn't aspire for liberation. Liberation comes to the devotee. That is the power of devotion service. Devotee is not interested in liberation. One time a devotee was doing his bhajan and Mukti Devi, she comes in front with folded hands. She's standing and the devotee understands that somebody has come. He opens his eyes and he sees Mukti Devi. She says, who are you? Kaha? She says, Mukti Rupagatasmi Bhavati. I am Mukti Devi. Kasmada Kasmadiha. How come you have come here? I didn't call for you. She says, Tvam Krishna Deva Smaranena Bhavato Dasi Padam Prapita. Because you are practicing bhakti, I have become your dasi. The devotee says, Dure Tishta Managanagasi, oh abominable ones, stay away. So Mukti Devi, she gets shocked. Katham Kuryat Anaryam Mayare, what wrong I have done? I have come to serve you and you are giving me gali. So devotee says, Tvad Gandhana Nijanama Chandan Rasale Pasya Lokopvet. Just by your fragrance, my desire for devotional service will go away. Stay away. I don't want to even come near you. Devotee is not interested in liberation. It comes. Jnana, if it is not added with devotion, bhakti will not give the result. Mahaprabhu quotes another verse by Brahmaji. Shreya shrutim bhakti mudasya te vibho klishyanti ye kevala bodha labdaye tesham asau kleshala eva shishyate nanyad yatha sthula tushavaghatinam. O my Lord, bhakti udasyate, the devotional service unto you is the only auspicious path. Shreya sritim, that is the only auspicious path. But if somebody gives up that and practices jnana, klishyantiye kevala bodha labdaye, they only get misery. The path of speculative knowledge is only miserable. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta asakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukkham. The path is troublesome, the end is troublesome. Klishyanti. Teshamasau kleshala eva shishyate. What he gains is only trouble. That's it. It is like beating the empty husks of rice. Sthula tusha avaghatinam. Nothing will come out. If somebody keeps practicing jnana without acting bhakti, without adding bhakti, it will not give the result of jnana also. And then Mahaprabhu describes verse number 23. Bhakti is the only means of deliverance. If you want to get delivered from the cycle of birth and death, the only means is bhakti. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapatyante maya metam tarantite. It is so very difficult to cross this ocean of material existence. Material energy is insurmountable, duratyaya. But if one surrenders to Krishna, then he floats over this ocean of material existence. This happens only by devotional service. Krishna nitya dasa jiva taha bhuli gela. Ei doshe maya tare golaye bandhila. Jiva Krishna das. Krishna nitya das. A living entity is the eternal servant of Krishna. Jiva bhuli gela. We forgot that. So what happened as a result? We are bound by the chain of fruitive activity, chain of Maya around the neck. Ei doshe Maya tare golai bandhila. You are tied by the chain of illusion. But there is a solution. Tate Krishna bhaje kare gurura sevan. Maya jala chute paye Krishna charan. Two things if somebody does. Krishna bhaje and kare gurura sevan. If somebody serves the spiritual master and worships Krishna, tate maya jala chute paye Krishna charan. The network of illusory energy is cut off. Jasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. He attains the lotus feet of Krishna. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmanaha. By serving the Guru, one gets the devotion to the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada writes, being illusioned by Maya, a living entity thinks that the material happiness is the only desirable object. It's so very difficult to convince materialistic people about the process of devotional service. Because the veil of illusion is so very thick. They are so very busy. Working whole day and night, they don't even get time to think the basic questions of life. Ke ami kene amara jane tapatray. Who am I? Why I am suffering in this material world? Is there a way out? There is no time to even think of such questions. Always busy trying to solve the problems. And if somebody can solve the problems nicely, he is considered to be a successful person. But it is punah charvita charvinanam. Every life we have done the same thing, trying to solve the problems of life. Only if one gets mercy of the Guru Krishna prasade paye bhaktirata beej. Chari varna shramiyadi Krishna nahi bhaje. Swakarma karite sei raurava padi maje. Very strong words Mahaprabhu is speaking here. If somebody is practicing varnashram duties properly, Chari varnashram yadi Krishna nahi bhaje. If you are not practicing devotional service, what is the use? You know what will be the result? Even if you are doing your fruitive activities, Swakarma korite sei raurava padi maje. It is bound that it is destined that a living entity will go to hell for sure, because so many sinful activities are ingrained in our life. A living entity has to, by default, even if one doesn't want to, they have to commit sinful activities. It is the default nature of this world. There is only one way to come out of this sinful life. Process of devotional service. That is the active ingredient in everything. Karma, jnana, yoga. That is in the karmis, jnanis, yogis, they cannot achieve perfection without practice of devotional service. Raurava padimache, it is for sure that they'll go to hell. Even a single mistake and the result is hell. So very scary path. Even if one practices the varnashram duties properly, the result is hell. they have to go to hell for some time. Because by default, one commits sinful activities. That's the nature of this world. When Narad Muni went to Prachina Barhi, he was so very expert in doing Karmakandi rituals. In fact, his name was given because he had spread the kusha grass all over the surface of the globe, so that wherever he goes, he can start a sacrifice. And many of the sacrifices, they involve the sacrifice of animals. And when we are doing any activity in a quick succession, it is bound to have some faults. Any activity, as Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, that any activity has some fault ingrained in it. Just like there is smoke in fire, dhume rambha, sarva rambha doshena, dhume nagnir ivavrata. Every endeavor has some fault. Just like the smoke will always be there with fire. And if you are not practicing devotional service, you'll go to hell to suffer for those. So therefore, it is described by Mahaprabhu that anyone, even if they are following their varnashram duties properly, Raurava Swakarma Korite Sei Raurava Padimaje. The four varnashrams, they have come from the universal body of the Lord. The Brahmanas, they have come from the mouth. Kshatriyas, they have come from the hands. Vaishyas from the belly. Shudras from the legs. They are all meant to serve the Lord. That's the ultimate result, ultimate purpose. Yesham Purusham Sakshat Atma Prabhavam Ishwaram Na Bhajantyavajananti Sthanat Bhrashtat Patatyadhaha. Anyone, all the varnashram, varnas and ashramas, if they are not following and worshipping the Lord, Yesham Purusham Sakshat Atma Prabhavam Ishwaram, who is the all-powerful Lord, who is the supreme controller, source of everything, Na Bhajanti, if one is not worshipping the Lord, Avajananti, neglects him, Sthanad Bhrashta, they'll fall down from their position. They'll go to hellish destinations. There are many speculative philosophers, the Gyanis, they don't practice bhakti. They are Mayavadis. They think that they are liberated. Because externally they look like a very liberated soul, very detached. Sannyasis, no attachment to anything of this world, completely absorbed in their sadhana. But what is the use? Because they are not worshipping Krishna, even if they attain the perfect stage, again they'll fall down. Yanya Arvindaksha Vimuktamanina, Arvindaksha Vimuktamanina, if they are not serving Krishna, they think they are liberated. Manina, Vimukta Manina, they think that they are liberated. Tvayastabhava Avishuddha Buddhayaha, they do not render devotional service, their intelligence is avishuddha, their intelligence is not pure, it is contaminated. Aruhya Krichrena, even if they rise to the highest levels of realization, Parampadam Patantiyadha, they again fall down. Because they have not tasted the lotus feet of the taste, the mellow which is there in the devotional service. They'll fall down because every living entity by default wants some rasa. Patanti adhas anadrita ishmadangraya. They neglect to worship your lotus feet, oh my Lord, they fall down. So therefore, anyone who approaches Krishna, Krishna shows mercy to them. And then Mahaprabhu speaks very, very famous verse. which we have heard hundreds of times. What is the true position of Krishna and Maya? कृष्ण सूर्य सम्माया है अंधकार यहाँ कृष्ण तहाँ नहीं माया अधिकार. Krishna is like the sun. Maya is like the darkness. Wherever Krishna is there, wherever the light is there, the sun is there, there cannot be any darkness. Yaha Krishna taha nahi maya radhikar. Whenever a devotee takes to the devotional service, surrender to Krishna, they go beyond the clutches of Maya. ऋते अर्थम यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यात्मनो Maya यथा भासो यथा तमः. Prabhupada quotes that in the purport. When a living entity becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved of all the material lusty desires. Anything which is not connected to Krishna, it is Maya. It will bring one down in the material consciousness. Only Krishna, practice of devotional service, and the devotees, they can help us. Otherwise, it is so very difficult to come out of the network of illusion. This entire world is thick with Rajogun and Tamogun. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalobhadayashaye chetayete ranavidham sitam sattve prasidati. As soon as one starts practicing devotional service, he gets situated in Sattva, Sattvagun. Rajogun and Tamogun drags one down, motivates one, pushes one to do fruitive activities. All the material desires increase. As soon as one starts devotional service, Sattva, Sitam Sattve Prasidati, and then all auspicious, inauspicious things, they go out of the life of this devotee. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. This Sattva Guna, it gives knowledge. Sattvat Sanjayate Jnanam. One becomes situated in real knowledge by practice of pure devotional service. It is not just Sattva, it is Shuddha Sattva. One gets to see the world as it is. We don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. When we start practicing devotional service, the process, the knowledge of bhakti destroys the illusion. As Kunti Maharani prays, "Oh my Lord, there is a veil of illusion in front of everyone's eyes. Maya javanika channam agyadhokshajamavyayam nalakshase mudadrisha nato natya dharvayatha." And the living entities, they can't understand how they are bewildered by Maya. But when one takes to Krishna consciousness, starts serving Krishna, chanting the names of the Lord, becomes his devotee, then Maya cannot touch him. We get free from the clutches of Maya. Of course, it is a long way because a sadhaka, till the time it is not a pure soul, purified soul, he is still there in the modes, in the clutches of Mahamaya. Yogamaya comes sometimes, but a sadhaka also is always under the influence of Mahamaya. Sometimes comes under the influence of Yogamaya. And as soon as one comes under the influence of Yogamaya, then the illusion is gone. Because Yogamaya gives one the taste of devotional service. In fact, Mahamaya also has three functions: Pradhan, Vidya, and Avidya. Pradhan is that energy of Mahamaya which creates this material universe, provides the ingredients for this material universe. Avidya is that potency by which a living entity is covered. It has two actions, Avaranatmika and Prakshepatmika. Avaran means a covering of illusion is put on the living entity as the living entity comes in this material world. And then another identity is projected on him, that you are the enjoyer, you are the controller. And then living entity is thrown from one end to another end. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartini. That is avidya. But Maya Devi has third very special energy, special action, that is vidya. As soon as the living entity turns to spiritual life, then the vidya shakti of Mahamaya starts acting. That vidya shakti brings one self-realization. So self-realization is still given by Mahamaya only. But Bhagavan realization is given by Yogamaya. So that's how when one turns to Krishna, then Yogamaya starts working. Mahamaya can't stand in front of Krishna. She stands behind, ashamed, because her function is to take living entities away from Krishna, of course, to test their faith and convictions. Vilajjamanaya yasya sthatum ikshapate amuya vimohita vikanthante mamaham it durdhiya. Brahmaji is telling to Narad Muni. Narad Muni asked Brahmaji, Brahmaji, I think you are the Supreme Lord. You create, you maintain, you destroy this world by your own potency, it seems. Are you the Supreme Lord? Brahma says, no, I am not the Supreme. Srijyam srijami srishtoham. I am just recreating what is already created by the Lord. And all these people who think that I am the controller, I am the creator, they are bewildered. How to understand that who is bewildered, who is not bewildered? Just watch their words. They always speak in terms of I and mine. Mama aham iti. This is me, this is mine. That is, they are controlled by Maya. Vilajjamanaya, and that Maya is ashamed to stand in front of Krishna. She stands behind Krishna. Prabhupada writes, not knowing the real value of life, people think that this material body and the products of the real body is all in all. And thinking like this, they are bewildered. They are thrown in the deepest darkness of ignorance. As soon as one becomes Krishna conscious, he is relieved. That relief is such a wonderful experience. That is like a person who is burning in the blazing fire and suddenly he's taken out of that and a cool breeze touches him. Such a great relief. Mahaprabhu continues. Anyone, any living entity, if he says even once, Krishna, I am yours. You know what Krishna does? That requires only this one statement of surrender. Krishna, I am yours. I don't want to serve material energy now. Krishna tomar hanayadi bole ek baar Maya band hoite Krishne tare kare par. Krishna tomar hana, I am yours, Krishna. Ek baar, even if he speaks once, tells once, Krishna, I am yours. Maya bandha Krishna, although material energy is completely captured this living entity, caught this this living entity. Krishna immediately relieves him. Mahaprabhu quotes the words spoken by Lord Ram to Vibhishan. When Vibhishan came to surrender, all the monkeys, they were doubting. They were telling, please don't trust him. He is a demon. He has rejected his brother. He has come as our spy, it seems, as the spy of Ravan, it seems. Lord Ram says, what to speak of Vibhishan? Even if Ravan comes and surrenders, Sugriva, O Sugriva, Sugrivo va Vibhishano yadiva Ravana swayam, even if Ravan comes and surrenders to me, I will give him shelter. Because I have taken a vow. What is my vow? Sakriteva prapanno yas tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami tadvratam mama. I have taken a vow that anyone who comes and tells even once, Sakrit means once, Tava asmiti. Oh my Lord, I am yours. That's it. Only this much is required. Sincerely, if somebody says, Oh my Lord, I am yours. From now onwards, from today onwards, I am yours. All my actions, all my thoughts, I will try to serve you always. I'll mold my life in such a way that I can serve you always. Abhayam sarvada tasmai. I give fearlessness to that person. Sarvada, it is not that now. Always I'll give him fearlessness. That is my vow. That fearlessness is the default nature of a devotee. Fearless. Because a devotee knows that Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was fearless. At the age of 70, to go to a foreign land with no money, no knowledge of the place, no known people, not even knowing whether he will get something to eat or not, fearless. So that fearlessness comes in the life of a devotee. When Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati, he folded his hands and says, Oh mother, I didn't mean it, but I accept it. Because everything is happening by the will of the Lord under the influence, and everything is happening in this world under the influence of the modes, directed by the will of the Lord. Gunapravaha tasmin kah shapa kah anugraha kah swarga narakah kova kim sukham dukkham evava. He leaves. Lord Shiva, he is telling Mother Parvati, just see, you saw how great the devotees of Lord Vishnu are, Lord Narayan are. They are never fearful. Narayan para sarve nakudashana vipyati swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyar darshina. They are never fearful in any situation. Nakudashana vipyati. This fearlessness, that is the quality of a purified soul. Fearless. Any situation they may be put in, fearless. Any anartha they may face, fearless. Mahaprabhu continues. भुक्ति मुक्ति सिद्धि कामी सुबुद्धि यदि है गाढ़ भक्ति योगे तबे कृष्ण भजय. She says, all these bhukti, mukti, and siddhi kami, those who want material desires to be fulfilled, those who want liberation or mystic siddhis, they are all kubuddhi. They have bad intelligence. If they become subuddhi, yadi subuddhi hoye, if they get good intelligence, you know what will happen? What will they do? They will worship Krishna. Gad bhakti hoye tabe Krishnera bhajay. That is subuddhi. Otherwise, it is all kubuddhi only. If somebody is not practicing bhakti, everything else is kubuddhi. Krishna varnam tusha Krishnam sango pangastra parshadam yagge sankirtana praya yajanti hi sumedasa. Only a most intelligent person worships Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells those who are worshippers of devatas, they are alpamedha. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam. And those who are worshippers of impersonal Brahman, they have no intelligence. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam abuddhaya. अल्प बुद्धि अबुद्धि उनकी बुद्धि है ही नहीं, इनकी तो कम है, इनकी है ही नहीं बुद्धि. But an intelligent person worships Krishna. भुक्ति मुक्ति सिद्धि कामी यदि सुबुद्धि होए गाढ़ भक्ति योगे तबे कृष्णेरा भजाए. Because whatever you want, you will get by bhakti. Why are you endeavoring for anything else? Kamas sarva kamo va moksha kamo udarati tivrena bhakti yogene yajeta purusham param. Mahaprabhu quotes this verse. You have no desires. You have all the desires, you want liberation. What do you want? You will get everything by worship of Krishna. And Krishna, he fulfills the desire of the devotee in such a wonderful way. You know how he does that? अन्य कामी यदि करे कृष्णेर भजन न मागिते ह कृष्ण तारे तेना स्वचरण. Anya kami, if some person worships Krishna and he wants other things of the world, anya kami yade kare yadi krishnera bhajan. And Krishna appears in front of him and he says, oh, please ask for benedictions. And the devotee and that living entity, that person asks, I want this. Krishna says, okay, I'll give you all this, but I'll give you my own lotus feet also. Na magite hai. Even if that person says, no, I don't want your lotus feet, I want these material things. Na magite ha Krishna tare dena swacharan. Because you know what Krishna is thinking? Krishna kahe ama bhaje mage vishay sukh. Amrita chhadi vishwa mage ei bada murkh. Such a foolish person he is. He is worshipping me and he is asking for the things of this world. How fool. आमा भजे मेरा भजन कर रहा है विषय सुख मांग रहा है वो फूलिश पर्सन नो प्रॉब्लम आमी विज्ञाई मूर्ख विषय के न दीब स्वचरणामृत दिया विषय भुलाइब नो प्रॉब्लम ही इज फूल आई एम इंटेलिजेंट आई विल नॉट गिव हिम द थिंग्स ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड आई विल गिव हिम स्वचरणामृत I'll give him the taste of my devotional service. I'll give him the taste of my lotus feet. So somehow, if a karmi or a yogi or a jnani comes in touch with a devotee, starts practicing devotional service, he gets such taste in the practice of bhakti that he leaves all the other things. The four Kumaras, when they came to Vaikuntha, the desire to take darshan of that Lord whom they were worshipping in their heart, as soon as they entered the gates of Vaikuntha, and the famous argument happened between the four Kumaras and Jai Vijay. And to solve the dispute, Lord came running with Mother Lakshmi. As the breeze carried the aroma of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, mixed with the fragrance of tulasi and the saffron particles, that breeze entered the nostrils of these four Kumaras. And they got agitated by the feelings of devotion. The impersonalists, they are very, very peaceful people, not disturbed by any emotions. Tasya putro mahayogi samdrin nirvikalpaka ekantmati unnidro gudho mudha ivayati. Shukdev Goswami was like that. Completely peaceful, detached. Kumaras were like that. As soon as they experienced the aroma, they smelled the aroma, they became agitated with feelings of devotion. Tasya aravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargata swavivarena chakara tesham sankszobham aksharajusham api chitta tanavo. Although their chitta, their mind, their body, they were absorbed in Akshara, impersonal Brahman. Sankshobham, they got agitated. Shukdev Goswami got transformed. Parinishitopi nairgunya uttam shloka lilaya grihita cheta rajarshe akhyanam tad adhitavan. Shukdev Goswami is himself telling, I was absorbed in Brahman. When I heard Krishna Lila, I became devotee. It all happens by the mercy of the devotee. Prabhupada writes, when we serve Krishna, we should not ask for anything material. It is not worth asking material things from the Lord. We should only ask for service. How can I serve you? What will please you, my Lord? You can keep me in any condition. Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tumhar. But many are not in that level. So therefore, okay, you have material desires. Ask. Krishna will fulfill that. And he will fulfill in such a way that you will not ask for the same thing again. Mahaprabhu quotes a verse from Bhagavatam. Satyam dishatyarthitamarthito nrinam naivarthato yat punararthitam yataha swayam vidatte bhajatam anichchatam ichchapidhanam nijapada pallavam. It is true, Satya. Arthitam arthito nrinam. You want material things? Krishna will give that. Naivarthato yat punararthitam yatah. But he will give in such a way that you will not ask for the same thing again. How Krishna does that? Swayam vidhatte. He gives himself to the devotee. Devotee says, I don't want you. Anichchatam. आप नहीं चाहिए. मुझे जो मांगा है वो दे दो. He says, no. Krishna says, doesn't work like this. I come with my benedictions. 1 + 1 3. And when Krishna comes in the life of a devotee, his lotus feet is Ichcha Pidhanam. It satisfies all the desires. That means it purifies the desires. And one forgets all the desires. And the famous example is Dhruva. Kama lagi Krishna bhaje, paye Krishna rase. Kama chhadi das hoite hoye abhilashe. Kama lagi Krishna bhaje. Are you want some material things? You are worshipping Krishna for that. You know what you'll get? Pai Krishna rase. She will get Krishna ras. Kama chhadi dasa hoite hoya abhilashe. And then you know what you will desire? That devotee will desire for becoming servant of Krishna. He will give up all the material desires. And then Mahaprabhu quotes that famous verse of Dhruva Maharaj, quoted in Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya. Oh my Lord, I wanted a kingdom greater than my great grandfather. For that, I worshipped you. But now I have achieved your darshan. And you know what I have realized now, oh my Lord? Kacham vichinvan apidivya ratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. I was looking for the broken pieces of glass. And what I have got is diamond. Sthana tapasi sitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam. Kacham vichinvan apidivya ratnam swamin kritarthosmi varam nayache. You are unattainable even by the great devatas, rishi, muni. They are doing tapasya for many, many lifetimes. They are not able to achieve you. And I am taking your darshan in just 6 months. I don't want anything, oh my Lord. I am Kritartha. I am completely satisfied. I don't want anything. And then Mahaprabhu starts explaining how one can attain devotional service by the mercy of the devotees. That is another very wonderful section. We will continue next time. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.